I just returned from running the Snowman's half marathon in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and overall it went pretty well. I came in 5th overall and 3rd in my age group, so that was a really tough age group, obviously. I think the two guys that finished ahead of me were both within like 2 minutes, so I wasn't that far off from being at the top of the age group, but a couple faster runners there. So like I said, overall I was pretty happy. I had a little bit of a surprise when I got to the starting line. I've learned from someone else that most of the race was actually on dirt roads, and it's been unseasonably warm here in Michigan lately, so it was like, I think the high today was 45, yesterday I got up to 50. So all the snow has been melting and those dirt roads were very, very muddy. Probably would have worn different shoes if I'd known that going in, but it ended up working out pretty good. Along with those muddy roads, a couple other things that factored in. At the beginning of the race, there was a place we were supposed to turn, and like the head 40 people just kept going straight when they were supposed to turn because no one told us which direction the course was in, so we had to stop, turn around and run back. So we lost, I don't know how much time. It wasn't a ton of time for me. I was a little ways back from like the leaders, but it was still like I was practically ready to throw in the towel at that point, because it's like I really wanted to perform well, and I was like, well, here we are not even a mile into the race and we've already screwed up. Basically we ran an extra, you know, whatever, quarter mile or whatever. So that was a little frustrating, but it makes my time feel all that much better because I know it could have been easily at least, you know, maybe up to a minute faster, maybe not quite that much. I don't know exactly how far along we were, but another promising factor was I didn't do a proper taper going into this race. I ran every single day up through yesterday. Did mostly recovery miles the last couple days, but I was still running, wasn't, you know, fully resting, and I wasn't really tapering back very much. I did a 15 miler as recently as Wednesday, so legs are pretty beat up. I haven't been taking rest days at all for about a month, so legs are pretty, you know, pretty worn out at this point. And if I was able to run, I ran under 130. I ran a 129.40, which is a real PR. I actually ran a half marathon faster than that before, but they screwed up and they told us to turn around too early, so it was like a half mile short or something like that. So this is my genuine PR. I felt like after I finished I probably could have done a little better. I was actually able to sprint like to the finish line. I crossed the finish line running 4:03 pace, so I had a lot in the tank at the end. I probably didn't push myself as much as I could have the whole race. I was pretty much trying to stay on pace to get under 130. That was really what I was shooting for. For a little while, I started to doubt myself because about halfway through the race, I ran like a couple 7-minute miles in there, and I was like, I should be able to run faster than this. So I was really kind of feeling down on myself. But then I actually picked up the pace after that. I think I probably had a negative split in the second half, and I know my last 2 miles were really fast. Was really able to pick it up, especially once we got off the dirt roads. Like, the nice thing about dirt is it's a little easier on your joints, but it's also a little harder to get up to that top speed. You know, there's a reason that, you know, stars run on the track and not on dirt roads. So that factors in quite a bit. I would say, I don't know exactly the mileage, but I would say at least like 9 miles of the race was on dirt roads, and they were, you know, really pockmarked and not really muddy to the point you were sinking in with each step, but there was mud. Like, my whole back of my legs were all splattered with mud. So not ideal conditions, not terrible conditions. The weather was just about perfect. There was hardly any wind, so really overall not too much to complain about, but just a couple things that make me feel even better about my time, basically. So overall it was a really fun race. It's a smaller race. I think there were about 200 people total-ish for a 5K, 10K, and a half marathon. I didn't look at the exact count, but I think it was in that vicinity. So it's up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. It's part of the Winter Warrior Race Series. I'm going to be doing the 10K for the next one that's coming up like February 22nd, somewhere around there, give or take. So I'll be back up there and doing a 10K, which I'm kind of excited about. Haven't done a 10K in a while, so we'll see what kind of time I can put up there. So The race had some cool swag. I got a glass just for running the race, and then I actually finished in the top 3 of my age group, so I got like a beer mug. And on top of that, we got a little hat that has like the logo on the side, winter running hat. So kind of cool stuff, kind of useful stuff, you know, better than maybe a medal that you just hang on the wall, something you can possibly use. So fun race if you're around Mount Pleasant. If you're looking for winter marathons, there aren't that many usually, and depending on the weather, they can be really nasty. A lot of people don't like to run long distance in the winter, obviously, so you can do what I did and just kind of keep an eye on it and see what the weather's going to be like, and then sign up at the last minute, which is basically what I did. So yeah, again, I'm pretty darn happy. I was hoping to go under 130. That was really my only goal. I would have loved to, you know, just crush that, get like a 127, 125 or something ridiculous like that for me. But considering everything, considering I'm not fully tapered, you know, I feel like this is a really good benchmark for myself, because I'm hoping to run a 310 or under full marathon, and this should really put me on pace. The only question is whether I can hold it for 26, you know, 0.2 miles. So I felt pretty strong. I was able to finish strong today, so I'm feeling pretty good about my chances at the marathon. I should say a little bit of a shout out to my coworker, who today he was just trying to run under 2 hours, and he crushed that he ran like a 149, so he just destroyed his goal basically. I think it was actually only his goal to run under 2 hours by the end of this race series, so he did it on day 1, so he knocked it out of the ballpark. I didn't quite overdo my goal as well as he did, but I, you know, pretty much hit right on my goal. If I wouldn't have made that wrong turn, if it wasn't all on dirt roads, you know, you factor in maybe I could have been a minute faster. So yeah, pretty darn happy with that. It's my, you know, a genuine PR at half marathon. I'd like to take another shot at a real half marathon in normal conditions, when I can taper for the race and stuff, when I'm not in the middle of a marathon, you know, training regimen. So see how much faster I can go. I still feel like I should be able to get down a couple minutes more, but we'll see how things play out here. Right now, my only focus is on the full marathon coming up Myrtle Beach. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more. I'm running another race in 2 weeks, and then another one 2 weeks after that, and then it's my marathon. So we'll have a lot of these coming out, and I did a training talk yesterday. Hope to do more of those as I think of subjects that are, you know, on my mind that I have something interesting to say about. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be back with more content. Thank you.